What if the door to reconciliation isn't closed, but just waiting for the right key? So if you are a mom that has ever laid awake at night with tears streaming down your face, wondering if healing is even possible for your relationship, then this message today is for you. Estrangement is painful, but where there's love and faith, there's always hope. I want to encourage you. Today I have 4 tips for you. Let's dive right in. Firstly, I want you to realize that healing yourself is the first step forward. Always starts with us in any situation, because reconciliation doesn't start with what your son or daughter does. It starts with you, what you allow God to do in your life, what you personally are doing. You're surrendering your pain, your anger, your hopelessness will begin to heal the broken places in your heart, which in turn will start to repair the relationship, even when you can't see it. Emotional wounds and unhealthy behaviors that might have played a role in the relationship breakdown before need to be fixed before you can come back together. And for those of you of faith, God calls us to examine our hearts, not with shame, but with grace. And so we need to trust Him to guide us towards that healing. I want you to know that you can transform your own life from the inside out, and that will create an atmosphere for you and your child moving forward. Right. Number 2 is a big one. Reconciliation is a journey. It's not an instant fix. Some of you think that just one moment in time is going to change everything and you're going to be fine. Well, it takes time. And any of you who have gone through it, or maybe you've started to reconcile and then took 5 steps backwards. So that happens when we're not focusing on our own healing. And it's easy to become discouraged, right? When progress feels super slow for whatever reason. I know that it can feel very discouraging. But this is where you have to put your heads down, pedal to the metal, taking care of you and your own health and your own emotional health, physical health, your other relationships, and be able to dive into all of that. If you're a person of faith, you can lean into God's strength and guidance because it's way bigger than ours. Pray for wisdom, patience, and courage. You have to take one step, one day at a time. And so whether it is respecting a boundary that they've given you, or maybe for those of you that have been afraid to send out a kind message to them, not asking for anything, not getting into detail, but just saying hello or I love you, maybe it's time for you to do that. A lot of the moms that I work with are navigating that question. When is the right time? And you know what? You're going to know when is the right time. Each of your family is different, so I can't say a blanket statement, yes, you should do that. But many of you might be needing to. Maybe you've never done that before. So if you are the mom ready to take the next step in taking care of yourself during this time, if you're looking for a lifeline and you're committed to finding peace and you want support, then let's explore how I can help you. I have a discovery call. These calls are reserved for moms who are ready for change. These moms are ready to do the work, ready to have a support system of one kind or another. Then I want you to book a discovery call with me when you're ready. This is for your own prioritization of your own well-being, your own personal growth. So when you are ready for that, click the link below to the discovery call so you can schedule that. Number 3 is boundaries build bridges. I like to say that because boundaries so many times feel like barriers. And I think a lot of times they're felt that way on both sides, but that's not the purpose of them. It's an opportunity to build trust. And when you can create a healthier dynamic, then that is going to help your relationship. So when they're setting boundaries, sometimes it's because they're trying to heal their wounds or seek safety. Respecting them in the beginning is really what you should do because they've asked you to do that, right? We may not understand it and that's okay. But by honoring their space and showing I love you enough to respect your needs, even if it's hard for me, right? As time goes on, like if a year were to pass or even more, I work with a lot of moms who haven't spoken to their children in years. And it's heartbreaking, absolutely heartbreaking. Those moms, as well as you, need to set boundaries for your own heart that are separate from your kids. So keep that in mind too. Boundaries mean setting your own as well as giving them to someone else. Those healthy boundaries also on yourself show your child that you are serious about creating a relationship, built on mutual respect, not control or fear. A lot of our kids feel like we've been trying to control them, or some of them have some fear. Each family's different. Number 4 is silent love. speaks volumes. You know, even when we are not speaking with our kids for whatever reason, maybe it's not by choice. Sometimes when you are reunited via, even if it's just a text, reconciliation doesn't usually start with this big conversation, but it's going to start with these quiet, consistent acts of care that hopefully they can see and hear. Navigating those waters can be very tricky. However, you have to have the patience game on when it comes to that, because, you know, if you're able to send them a text, a voice message, or whatever that may be that, you know, you think is best or you're advised to do, you know, that is what you need to do slowly but surely. Just letting them know, however you do it, letting them know that they're loved, they're not too far gone, letting them know you do have unconditional love for them. And yeah, there's been hard things and you've been hurt and you might even have some resentment. And that's just being human. But what we want to do is to let them know it's not too far gone. Even if you can't reach them physically, God can reach them spiritually, right? Remember that. The timing is perfect. However this plays out, a lot of you are wondering, you know, maybe it's been a week, maybe it's been a month, a year, 5 years. But you need to remain faithful in these small acts of kindness when possible. I know a lot of moms who will reach out. A lot of people are having questions about holidays. I know a lot of moms that will reach out and do maybe a small gift or just a card, and not putting any of the past history in there, but more of a, I love you, Merry Christmas, wishing you the best, something like that. It keeps the door open, or as one of my clients likes to say, keeps the porch light on, right? You always want them to know that the porch light's on. So that is what I have for you today. And I want you to remember that God is not a respecter of persons. And what he's done for me and my family, he can do for yours. I've seen him heal the most broken places in my relationships and bring restoration in ways that I never even thought possible. The same miracle can be done for you and your family. I hope this helps you today. God bless, and I'll see you in the next video.